Hello, everyone. Welcome to Yachting International Radio. You're with Karine from the Crew Coach on your mental health. And today I have Mark Farmer with us, a CEO and head chef for 12 years. So Mark has a wealth of experience. And today we're going to actually focus on mental health and juicing. So welcome, Mark. Lovely to have you here.
Hey, Karine, how are you? Nice to have you.
Thank you. Okay, so Mark, when did you realize the benefits and the potential that juicing can have on your mental health?
Hey, Karine, for me, 2008 was a big stepping stone for me. My girlfriend at the time was into juicing and Chinese medicine and all this stuff. And I was like, whatever. I was working at the time and I didn't have time for this nonsense. But every morning she would make me a carrot juice and cucumber juice, and it became part of my life. It only really hit me in about 2014 when I was working flat out in the yachting industry. Same time, I was also working in Hollywood, trying to sell my TV show. But I was literally stressed out maximum. I was living on caffeine drinks. I was literally getting no sleep. I was working mostly emergency charter yachts. And I just decided one day to get into juicing because my friend told me it's the benefits. And it changed my life. It really changed my life.
Okay, so to give people perspective who don't know what the responsibilities are of a head chef, can you describe a day in the life of a head chef?
Okay, so I've been working mostly big boats. My bait will be, I believe in looking after the crew. So I will do everything for the crew. So I will do breakfast, lunch, and dinner for crew. Sometimes there'll be vegans aboard. A lot of chefs say, oh, I'm not cooking for a vegan. I go out my way. I believe a healthy crew is a happy crew. So my day would be getting up in the morning, 4:45, which is religious for me. I'll make my breads, I'll make everything. I then do breakfast for crew and I'll do breakfast for guests. Come up dinner time for guests, I'll be making 4, 5, 6, 7 course meal, depending what they want. But my day would literally be about 14, 15 hours a day. And I would literally live on caffeine drinks. That'll be my stimulant. Until when they get off the boat, then I'll just collapse into a beat and hide in my cabin for 4 days and sleep.
Wow. So that's obviously 15 hours or more back to back, standing all day.
Yes. So you literally, so as a chef, for me, my day will get up early. I will try and get out and walk off the boat, go for a quick walk. I usually do all my own provisioning, my own shopping. So that's me getting off the boat. But yes, you're on your feet for 14, 15 hours a day.
Okay, so now how would that impact your psychological well-being? Obviously the physical would be impacted, but over a course of time, burnouts, severe fatigue syndrome, what happens to you from a cognitive, mental perspective, as well as emotional?
Okay. Let me first explain to you. I have ADHD, so I have had that since I was diagnosed since 13. I then had the military thrown into that, so I have PTSD because of what I saw in the military. But I've maintained that through a healthy balance of exercising and running and all that kind of stuff. But on the stressful side of things, as you say, yes, you get to a point where it's emotional. Yes, I admit this on camera right now. Many times I go to my room at night and I fall into a ball of mess and cried. It's like, Jesus, pull yourself together, Mark. You need to do this out, knock it out. And for me, the most rewarding thing is when the guests come back at the end of the week and they go, Mr. Farmer, chef, thank you very much for the amazing food. That just gives me the need to go on. But yes, it is very stressful. And a lot of people come to me and say, well, I want to be a yacht chef. It's not just being a yacht chef. It's how do you handle it? It's a big impact. You've got to do your own dishes. You've got to maintain the crew. You've got to be able to have communications with front of house, back of house. Although you're the boss and you only answer to the captain, you still got to answer to the guests. I go out of my way and I talk to my guests and I find out everything. It's stressful, very stressful.
Okay, so you were telling us about why you got into juicing and the benefits of juicing. So how did that change your life, juicing?
Okay, so for me, it was, okay. So for me, I've always been kind of healthy. I've always been military fit, but I'm also a big skydiver. I'm a massive skydiver. And I got into drinking as a way to calm myself down. Not heavy, but bad. And then one day I had a very bad skydiving accident. Literally, I should have been dead. I should have like crashed the ground. And anyway, the girlfriend at the time said, Mark, we'll get you into a juicing diet. We'll get you this. We'll get you back to normal. So I started juicing, and basically I started on celery juice. Oh, the wonderful power of celery juice. Wow, let's check this out. So I tried it, and I literally, within 3 months, my life just changed. I got stronger, better. So I started playing around with stuff. I started doing beats. I started doing detoxes, cleanses. I stopped drinking. I stopped smoking. I just started getting into more running. I got into yoga. My girlfriend told me at the time, do yoga. I'm like, are you joking? 1 or 2 lessons. And then I thought, hang on, and yeah, I've been doing yoga now ever since for 4 or 5 years. Meditation is a big part of my life. And that goes with balance with juicing. I have different juices for different regimes of my day. So I have a juice for when I wake up, I have a juice mid-lunch, I have a juice for when I want to meditate, I have a juice when I'm feeling tired. Like you look very tired right now, you need to have a juice. You need to have a bit of grapefruit.
Yeah, grapefruit.
You would have a grapefruit, celery, cucumber, tomato, and red pepper. That'll pick you up.
Wow, sounds amazing.
It doesn't always taste good, but it's always good for you in the quick run.
Yeah, okay. And what about juice diets? Have you ever done any of like a detox?
I do quite a few things. The last 2 years, I've literally changed my life around. So I do fasts. I do a juice fast. I do juice cleanses. I actually do food fast where I don't eat food at all for so many days. But a juice fast, I would do. In fact, I will send you some information over a new book that I've just bought recently. You would like to read. It's a 3-day juice cleanse, and this juice cleanse literally can change your life. And I've tried it once, I tried it twice, and it really does work. It just cleanses the body, it cleanses your mind, it gives you clarity, it gives you everything you need to do. I do strongly believe in juice. I mean, I have many people fight me every day saying juice is rubbish. Don't believe in it. On that note, I've got a guy who's going to join us next week sometime in the radio. His name is Simon. He's a first officer. He's a very famous skydiver. His girlfriend is a South African, and they've been on this juice diet I was telling you about. And I've got someone else, a very famous American chef on yachts, who's also said he's doing the juice diet. So they want to talk to you as well and tell you how I've changed their life.
Wow.
So it's kind of...
So is there a recommended time of when you should do a juice diet? So for example, if you're on charter, would you maybe suggest not?
Depending on charter, depending how your boat is structured. It's everything about structure and organization. A lot of the guys I talk to about juicing, like I said, we can't do it. We don't have time to do it. It's a mission to clean the juice or whatever. There's ways around it. There's always ways around things. I believe if you're on charter, you can juice. You can, if the chef's willing to do it. Saying that, I've got a chef right now in Newport who hates juicing because he has to do 10 juices every day, 10 gallons of juice every morning. He wakes up 2 hours to do it for the captain, and he absolutely despises juicing. But on the good note, his crew are very happy and they're very healthy. So you can weigh it out. For me, I don't mind doing for juice for crew. I believe on a charter is the best time to juice.
Okay.
Sometimes you might not get a meal in, and I'm speaking here from chef's point of view. How many times do chefs actually make a meal for guests and crew and don't eat themselves and end up having a Marmite sandwich? Yeah. I'm guilty. I do that. Yeah. I do that all the time. When I feel like a Marmite sandwich, I grab a carrot and I juice it and I drink it.
Mm-hmm. Gosh, it's phenomenal, Mark. I remember back when I was working on the yachts 10 years ago, we were juicing grapefruit juice, just purely because I know the vitamin percentage in grapefruit is very high. And back then it wasn't very popular, but I think intuitively we had that craving for that vitamin C to get through.
Well, grapefruit has vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin B12. The best juice out there, if everyone says, oh, I have a glass of orange juice, forget orange juice. Grapefruit juice is the best. And if you can juice it yourself, it is even the best. It's even better. Sorry, my English is bad. It's even better. Okay. One of my things I do with my guests is I do a baked grapefruit with brown sugar in the oven. I serve it to them warm, I cut it out, and I have it, and they like absolutely go mad for it. Wow. It's a simple way, a new take on grapefruit, but they absolutely love it. My guests go crazy for it.
Okay, gosh, that's brilliant. So a little bit about mental health and your experience with mental health while working on board yachts, and advice for crew to maintain their well-being? What would you say besides the juicing?
For me personally, I think it's very good to have a good relationship with your chief steward. I think it's very good to have a relationship with your captain. If you're feeling under pressure and you're stressed out, talk to the captain. There's nothing wrong in saying to the captain, hey, I'm really stressed out today, make a plan. He can make a plan. I've been on a boat before where I was literally on the boat for almost 3 weeks, no day off. I went to captain, I said, Captain, I need time off. He said to the guests aboard, you take the night off, you're going to go ashore and we'll bring the ship with us. I'm like, no, I'm going to go away. I literally booked myself in a hotel and I took a day off.
Okay.
About refreshed. There's nothing wrong with communicating with the captain how you feel. Very, very important. Yeah. You don't have to be Mr. Superman or Mr. Spider-Man, whatever you want to call yourself. Talk to the captain and relay everything to the chief stew. Let the chief stew know how you're feeling. If you're under pressure, because sometimes people just, excuse my language, take the piss. They really do.
Yeah.
I used to work for an owner. I still love him to bits, but he used to wake up 3 o'clock in the morning and do his Wall Street starts. And he'll pick up the phone and pick up, hey, chef, I want to smoke salmon sandwich. Yes, mister, I'll be there right now. And then I literally used to sleep in my chef jacket because he would wake me up 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning for a sandwich, and then he'll go to sleep. And then I had to wake up and do the guests and the crew. So my life was 24/7.
Wow. And I can imagine it must be quite isolating in terms of working as a chef. I know you got a sous chef with you, but the other departments have larger teams.
Yes, I do. I mean, I have worked with sous chefs before, but mostly I'm a sole chef. And I prefer that because I'm more organized. I like things done my way. But yes, it is stressful. I don't have people to talk to. I mean, sometimes I will work with a team. Deckhands will come and help me wash that. But otherwise, yeah, it is stressful. A lot of people, my friends say, oh my goodness, the money is amazing. Yeah, the money is amazing. You work, you are a bitch. You're a bitch to the owner. Literally, you got to do your stuff. And there are some chefs out there who are exceptional. And there's some chefs out there they just can't cook. But most of the guys that I know, they put their heart and mind into it, and they do 40, 15 hours a day.
Gosh, it is really, really difficult, challenging work, and that's why you need to keep your mental health in check. So would you recommend counseling for crew as an option to seek extra support?
Yes, I would. I totally do this. I'm going to say this as a South African, British, I don't know what I am, American, I don't know what I am. But my ex-girlfriend used to see a therapist all the time. She said, Mark, you need to talk to someone. I'm like, sorry, I don't do that stuff. My daddy told me never to shut up with this. But sometimes it's good. And I met this lady who, I wouldn't say she's my therapist, but she talked to me once a week when I was doing charters, and I'll come back and spend time with my girlfriend. She wanted me to do this at the time, Chrissy. And I talked to her, and it takes so much off your chest to be able to just talk to someone, especially if you don't know them, and be able to unload. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't show my weakness, but it's nice to talk about things, because in the long run, me, and I've personally experienced this, it affects my relationship. I've lost many girlfriends because of chefing on boats, because I'll get a phone call 3 o'clock in the morning, Mr. Farmer, can you be in Hong Kong? Poof, off a flight to Hong Kong because I've got a 3-week charter. Or can you fly down to Fiji? Can you be in Australia? Can you be in South America? Can you be in Panama? Can you be in Aruba? Yes, I'm on the plane, poof, off I go. And that's that. But then at the same time, you think about your relationships. And I'm sure plenty of my girlfriends will be watching this. They'll say, yeah, Mark just disappeared in the middle of the night. So yeah, it's good to talk to people. I do believe it. I do believe in chatting to people and having a good repertoire with someone you can trust. I have a few captains I trust impeccably, and I pick up the phone or email or messenger, and I chat to them all the time. And it's a good relationship we have.
It is helpful to talk to someone who's actually worked in the industry and can understand what you're going through. I've got a membership, and we had a group coaching call yesterday, and one of the girls was saying the pressure of the industry to be perfect when you got to wear that mask 24/7, and behind that mask you're absolutely shattered and you're in pain, but you can't express it or you can't show it. And she was talking about her frustrations around the industry making out that we also have to be perfect, and we've got to dismiss the distressing feelings that we are experiencing.
Cool. I mean, Karine, I'll give you an example. I'm not going to say names now, but I've got 2 girls who are who are quite senior in the interior team. And one girl, she's admitted to me she's a drug user and pretty much dependent on alcohol. But she's very gorgeous, very pretty. She's very professional, and I've seen her in work myself. I've actually worked with her. But she one day she goes, "Mark, can you help us?" I put her onto a juicing regime. I got her to speak to one of my friends, and I tried to help her to the point where she's left the yachting industry now, but she ended up going to rehab. And part of I'm busy writing a book. I don't know if I told you this. It's called Good Chef, Bad Chef. And part of this book I'm writing about is the yachting industry and the real side of yachting. But anyway, going back to school, I spoke to her and then she's like, "Mark, it's so possible to maintain the good image, innocent face, but behind my dad's sick or my brother's sick or I got a friend who's sick. It's just I got to deal with all my own personal stuff at my own time, which is my cabin, and at the same time I got to be nice and friendly to everyone else. It's hard. So yes, I do understand the pressures, and I think people they need to relate to themselves and say, "Is this worth me?" I mean, I've got so many people that are trying to get into the yachting industry. They're like, "Mark, tell me about it." And I said, "I'm going to give you my personal advice. Find another job." It's not like it used to be, especially today. Today, it's even more stressful than it was when I joined. When I joined, it was a necessity. Now it's because anyone can join. I mean, anyone can join the yachting industry.
Okay, interesting. So, as you would know, there's a lot of anxiety and depression within our industry. And more recently, there's been a number of suicides the past 5 or so years. In terms of identifying warning signs when crew aren't traveling too well, what would you advise someone to look out for? What are the behavioral signs?
Okay, the three biggest things, and I'm very good at this, is number one, if people withdraw themselves, they don't want to do activities. So someone like me, for example, my friend called me out. He's like, "Mark, you used to be a skydiving mad person. Also, I don't see you for like 3 weeks. Where do you go to?" And I say, "I go write my book." And I actually am writing a book. But the first sign is people will withdraw from activities. Number two, people will start being very negative towards themselves. They'll start pointing out their negative side instead of being the positive side. Number three is they will always be very critical of situations around them. They'll always bring out the smallest things and criticize that. When people start criticizing things because something's not right in their head, it's the way I believe in it. And I'm talking from experience. I've had someone on board a vessel with me that's committed suicide. So yes, I mean, there's stories. I mean, I can tell you right now, I know of at least 9, 10 people that have committed suicide as yacht chefs. And yes, people are like, "Oh, I saw him doing this, I saw him doing that." If that's the problem, reach out to them. There's nothing wrong with saying to someone, "Hey, how are you? Are you feeling bad? You want to talk to me?" I mean, the other day, I called up an ex-girlfriend who hates my guts. She hates me. But I started seeing stuff on her feed on Facebook, and it concerned me. So I reached out to her and said, "Hey, are you all right? I don't want to talk to you." I said, "Just put our problems aside and just tell me what's going through your life right now." And it ended up her dad passed away, and she was struggling. So I said, "How can I help you?" She goes, "Mark, you can't help me, but thank you for caring."
Yeah. And that's especially when you're suffering with depression, you feel like you're alone and no one cares for you. And that's what I've noticed working with clients, whether it's in prison or with yachties. I am persistent where I will check up on them and I will show up every single day. And I feel like that was the biggest switch that I noticed to get their attention and to actually do some work.
This problem, I'm going to be straightforward now. I don't care what anyone says. It's drinking. People can hide themselves with drink. And everyone knows drinking is a quick way of resolving your depression. Unfortunately, it's not. Drinking puts you more in a depression state. I know this, for example. So when someone starts drinking more and more and more, and I'm talking from people from experience here, reach out to them. Say, "Hey guys, let's do something activity." And I think this comes down to the biggest thing. I think a captain should take responsibility and say to crew, when crew are off, instead of him going home or disappearing away, say, "Hey crew, let's do a weekend or a day out as crew. Let's do something." When I worked for Richard Branson, what I loved about working for Richard Branson, the Virgin Group, and to this day, I'm still very good friends with Sue Hewlett, Richard Branson's main PA, and she was like, the most important thing we did was in the restaurant trade, once a month, once a month, the management of Richard Branson will get all the team together, and we'll be closed on a Sunday once a month, and we'll take the crew away, maybe to Richard Branson's house in Huntington, Oxford area, or we go play paintball, or we go down to Southampton. We will do a team activity, and it was all paid for by Richard. And believe me, the morale was amazing. It kept everyone in shape, kept everyone together. So I believe a captain should take team out, maybe for dinner, maybe kayaking or whatever, mountain biking or something. I do believe.
And it also creates an opportunity to get to know someone on a deeper level rather than on a superficial level when you're drinking and there are other things going on around you that you're not actually getting to know the person a lot better. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've got 3 captains since I joined the industry, 3 captains who helped me in the industry. I become very good friends. We still maintain our relationship today. They will reach out to me and say, Mark, I've got this idea. What do you think about it? And I said, Captain, the best way to do that is just talk to crew. And one of my favorite, I'm not going to mention his name, one of my favorite captains, he's been part of a family for 12 years. He runs five yachts. And in a nutshell, he actively asks the owner, can we do stuff on the private island he owns? And he takes the crew there and they fly the crew out there or wherever they are, wherever the boat's going to be based, and they do activities. And believe me, the crew, it's the only boat that I know that they crew on the boat for 5, 6, 7 years. They stay on the boat because it's a healthy, happy boat.
Yes, and that's part of the culture, obviously, that they've created. And it's a conscious effort, and they're doing things intentionally to maintain and build that positive culture on board, which is so, so important.
Definitely, I agree with that 100%.
So withdrawing, and another thing I would mention, a change in eating habits as well is a thing to look out for.
Okay, eating habits.
Yeah.
I know a couple of girls on boats who eat and throw up. What do we call it? Disease? I don't know. But they throw up because they want to maintain their bulimia. That's where we go. Because they want to maintain their fatigue and that. Yes, there are things like that. That's why juicing is very important. Juicing is something you can drink, stays in your system, gives you nutritional value, and it's good for you.
Yeah.
It's another reason why to juice.
Yeah. And so with that person who chose to end their life on board, how did you guys notice some strange behaviors or warning signs beforehand?
Yes. So for me, this was very young. I'm talking about, this was, let me think of the date now, it was 2013. So this was one of my very first big boats. And I came on board because I knew the captain very well and I got this job. And he came up to me and I knew he drank. I mean, he was a bit of a party person, but that's fine. And one day he came on to me, he's like, I've got problems at home. And I said to him, I don't want to hear about it. I really can't deal with this right now. I've got a charge coming board. And we literally, I was very arrogant to him. I didn't listen to his reach out. My bad, my apologies. But then one day he came to me, he's like, Mark, I need to take some time off. I said, okay, cool, take some time off. And he went away and he came back 2 days later. And then we did another charter, came on board. And he said to me, Mark, can I actually ask you a favor? I said, yes. He goes, can I take this charter off and can you get someone else on? I said, no, dude, you're my chef. You've got to be on board with me. Stay with me. Anyway, he kept eating out, and I noticed him changing completely, became a different person. And then I woke up one morning and Captain told me that he wasn't there.
So sad. But also, it's such a very difficult environment on a yacht when you've got charters and you're back to back, because you can't even care about yourself, let alone someone else, because you're so focused and invested in the guests and creating that experience to match their expectations and beyond, that it's mental health gets neglected.
Well, for me, I blame myself because I didn't see the signs, but at the same time I also realized I noticed myself that this is more important to be more communicative with your chefs and your interior staff and everyone. And if there's anything it goes amiss or something you feel is not right, report it to the captain. I do believe that.
Yes, fantastic, Mark. And I believe that you're going to send over some recipes so that the crew who are listening to this radio interview will be able to download it and try it out for themselves.
Cool. And Karine, I also want to say to you that if anyone wants to get my email, you can give it to them, put it out there. It's chef or pure@limechilli.com. I'll happily give them my manuals and juicing regimes I have and all that to help people out. And also remember, this month is Suicide Prevention Month, so let people be aware of that. If you think anything or suspect anything of anyone, of your crew members under pressure, under stress, reach out to them. I mean, at the moment, we're going through difficult times and people are struggling. So just reach out, and you know what? There's nothing wrong giving a guy a hug or giving someone a pat on the back and say, how's it going? What's going on?
Totally.
I always believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Mark. It's such a pleasure to have you, and thank you for sharing your knowledge and experience with us. Much appreciated.